It's Aaron and Justin, whoa. It's Aaron and Justin, oh yeah. They're back to bring you more. It's Aaron and Justin, you don't know what's in store. They're doing what all white dude bros have done. Talking Marvel just for fun. It's Aaron and Justin, whoa. It's Aaron and Justin, let's start the show.
Welcome, everyone, to Aaron and Justin Talk Sequels, Marvel Madness something, where we're talking about the entire history of all Marvel movies ever. If you want to know the rules, go back to our first episode in the season, but...
Everyone ever, as long as they fit our criteria.
Yeah. And today we're talking Doctor Strange 1978. Marvel's third strike at making TV movies, TV shows. They do a pilot for Doctor Strange after the success of Spider-Man and the Incredible Hulk. And they spend a ton more money on this, and Stan Lee is much more involved. And what do we see because Stan Lee is much more involved?
It surprises me to learn that he's much more involved, because I didn't really care for this film. They changed his character so much. It started off and you felt like they were really holding true to the comics, but they changed him. He's just a normal practitioner. He's not a surgeon. He cares about people. He's not an asshole, which he should have been. He never got his comeuppance by getting his hands destroyed, and that's why he goes searching for the Ancient One that instead teaches him to be the Sorcerer Supreme. Like, there's none of that. He's just a nice doctor, and he finds out it's almost the Green Lantern approach. There's this alien that gives him a ring and says, like, oh, you'll be something now because we need help. It just turns out that his dad gave him this ring and said, like, oh, there's something special about my son, and he happened to know the current Sorcerer Supreme, and that someday you'll be the new Sorcerer Supreme.
Where I feel like Stan Lee is evident is that we have actual references to the comics.
Yeah, Wong, Clea, Strange.
And then Morgan Le Fay, a not Dormammu, but Dormammu bad guy.
Which I liked. It was pretty cheap, but I liked how they showed hell, basically, and it was creepy.
Yeah.
And that was a nice set piece. So it started off promising. I just thought that Peter Houghton, is that his name? Or whoever plays Doctor Strange, he just wasn't anything.
Peter Houghton?
He didn't have a good script to work with. Although I think he had a good look for the 70s Doctor Strange. I think it could have worked.
Tell me, though, name a modern actor with perm.
But that would have flown, in
I know,
the 70s. Right?
Why do men not look like this anymore?
Yeah, I know. Isn't that strange? How wavy is his hair naturally? It's got to be some wavy, but it's a perm. It's like a permanent. It's something they had to get done.
What men have curly hair, or do they all straighten it now?
You know what? Jonah Hill is like the only guy I can think
Jonah
of
Hill.
that has.
Thank you.
But they would call it a Jufro.
Okay.
So Spider-Man sucked.
Spider-Man sucked.
And then there was a huge raise in quality with the Incredible Hulk.
Huge hit.
And then this kind of goes back to the Spider-Man level of quality. Maybe a little better.
I had so much fun watching this. I understand why it wasn't picked up. We have to remember, back then there was only 3 things to watch on TV, and that was it. It was CBS, NBC, or ABC. And they showed this to people at 8 p.m. prime time, and it lost to a rerun of Roots. And so CBS did not pick it up. It never went anywhere, and we have this. Like, the most notable thing is Jessica Walter is a very, very horny villain named Morgan Le Fay. Are you ready for me to rock your world?
Yes, please.
Morgan Le Fay has been in the dark dimension or hell or whatever for 500 years after she lost her battle with the Sorcerer Supreme, who originally was supposed to be Merlin.
You mean he was the first?
Well, no, like, he's Merlin. Canonically, Merlin is part of the MCU, or Marvel Comics anyway.
Are you talking about the show? That the old man is Merlin?
Yeah, so it's not stated, but essentially he's Merlin, and he's been around forever, and he's an old wizard, and he battled Morgan and beat her, and it's been 500 years. Dormammu's like,
she's coming back.
I need you to go finish this, bro, or take out his successor. And that's the movie, is like, she's on her mission to be alive again.
But she actually falls for the new...
She's derailed because she's horny.
It's 500 years.
500 years of no D, and she wants that D, and she needs that perm.
She sees that man perm.
Yeah.
So he's Merlin.
I mean, okay, it's not stated, but I've read a lot of subtext. Yeah.
So, like, why now? Is he going to be like, oh, I'm too weak now, and now I'm going to die?
No, because it's a TV show.
Lame.
Yeah.
And so he knew Doctor Strange's father.
Yeah.
And his father was aware he was the Sorcerer Supreme. And so he just had a son, and he's just like, hey, have you seen my son? He could be your successor. There's something special about him. Give him a ring, and I'll just keep an eye on him. And then when he's like 40, I'll suddenly talk to him about doing this. But I won't give him enough information to really convince him. I'll just make it seem like I'm weird and crazy, and you'll have to find out these things for yourself, which is also just a plot contrivance to move the story along, you know? Why not just tell him everything that's going on and show him that you're Sorcerer Supreme, and then maybe he would be able to make up his mind a little better.
Okay, so you're saying that one person has all the information and another person has none. And the person with all the information is going to go meet with the person that's none and change their life.
Piecemeal. He's going to piecemeal it out. For dramatic effect.
And instead of explaining things clearly,
why not just say what the fuck is going on? We have talked about this. It comes up every once in a while. You said it so brilliantly. One person has all the info. One person has none of the info. The person with all the info just will not tell him everything for some fucking reason.
they're a dick. Yeah.
Ugh. But that's the only way to keep the story moving. Otherwise, you have a 10-minute film.
So Morgan Le Fay is on Earth to kill the Sorcerer Supreme, named Thomas Lindmer, great name for the Sorcerer Supreme, or to bring her successor over to the Dormammu demon.
Okay, so kill the old one, turn the new one. Does she have to do both?
One or the other. Okay. Which, if she doesn't do one, how is he the successor? That actually.
Well, it's just like it doesn't matter. Like, what if you kill the old one and there's a new one? Well, how does that?
Yeah, you really have to do both for it to make sense.
Yeah.
She possesses a girl named Clea, who's from the comics. She was awesome. She was my favorite part of this movie.
She's very attractive to watch. She was pretty good at it, but just like Doctor Strange, they're not given anything of substance to do in these roles.
No.
It just was like you felt for them, where I'm just like, you guys are good, but God, they just don't know what to do with you.
Throwing the Sorcerer Supreme over the bridge was awesome. Like, I loved that scene.
It was pretty good. Coming up with this whole, we're going to possess her and then she is going to be used to kill. Yeah, I was like, well, this is dramatic.
And then the possession left her broken. So the Sorcerer Supreme knows that she's broken, and Doctor Strange just happens to be the doctor at the what is he?
I don't know. He's just a general practitioner.
But he's in the not nut. I want to say the right word.
The nut house.
He's in the nut house.
Say it.
And he's so kind and thoughtful, and he's just a nice guy who cares about his patients more than anything, much to the chagrin of his boss doctors. Mm-hmm. I actually liked the bureaucracy of the hospital a little bit.
This really got to me. So much in this movie is taken up with scenes where they sit around, all the doctors, and talk about how many beds are available. Yes! Was there some problem in the 70s where that was in all the news and that's what people cared about, is that there was just too many people that were in hospitals and it was all about opening beds and, okay, we can open up 4 beds. Beautiful. How many beds can we open up tomorrow? It was just like there was like 4 or 5 scenes of talking about opening beds and how many beds are available.
Yeah.
I guess it was timely, maybe. I don't know, but I didn't care.
All right, so Clea is damaged. She goes into a coma because of the possession, because her astral form has left her body, and the Sorcerer Supreme has Doctor Strange leave his body and go to the astral plane to get her mind back.
Yeah, so he does the astral plane. Another Stan Lee thing you're probably talking about, where these are all things that happen.
Wait, there's not The Conjuring, but what's the other horror movie that's popular like The Conjuring?
Insidious,
the plot of Insidious, if you haven't seen it in a while.
I haven't seen it at all.
When his son sleeps, he goes to the astral plane, essentially, and he gets lost.
Okay.
And at the end of Insidious, the dad has to go to the astral plane with the help of a psychic to get his son back. And I was like, oh, this is what this is.
This is Poltergeist.
Is that what Poltergeist is too?
Yeah, that's what Poltergeist. I mean, I wouldn't call it the astral plane, but whatever ghosts are in the house kidnap the little girl.
See, I haven't watched that in a long time.
And they have to use a psychic in order to open up the doorway to get her back. Richard Matheson, the science fiction writer, I don't know if he sued the makers or Spielberg and people with Poltergeist, but he was very vocal about hey, This is my Twilight Zone episode, Little Girl Lost, that he wrote about this girl that was taken into another dimension, the astral plane, if you will, and her parents get a psychic, basically, who can help them get the back. Like, it's very clearly that's Twilight Zone episode, and then they made it a Poltergeist, and so the way you explain Insidious, that's exactly what that sounds like, too.
It's exactly what Insidious is.
It's a proven formula, I guess.
Well, at the end of Insidious, though, like, the demon comes back in the dad's body.
Oh,
and, yeah.
And that's what happened in Twin Peaks as well. Twin Peaks had
Nobody knows what happens in Twin Peaks. Okay, don't even pretend.
I know, but that's what happened at the end of the first season. Or the second season. Anyway, can I just read some notes I have?
Yeah, read them.
It doesn't look cheap. That's how I felt about watching the movie. It didn't look anything, but it didn't look cheap.
It doesn't look cheap.
I have something that I wrote. Was that supposed to make us think it was a real baby? There was a scene where he was walking by this woman, like, clothing a clearly a doll child. And I was like, is that supposed to be real?
Oh, I don't remember that.
I did like the soundtrack. I think the soundtrack was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Whereas the Spider-Man one sucked. They cheaped out on the effects. They just used a lot of sounds when Morgan was doing her magic. They didn't really show much. But there was one line I liked. Somebody said, even a pawn can be used to capture a queen. And I thought that was pretty good. What else? The Sorcerer Supreme is like Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And I think that was very current, obviously. Like, Star Wars was a hit while they were making this movie.
Oh, that's
I think
funny.
That had a lot to do with it.
Oh, I did not connect that.
That's what I'm thinking. Oh, Belzeroth is the Dormammu. And see, I didn't think of him as Dormammu. If you know anything about Doctor Strange, and I don't know a ton about it, but I've read a little of him, there's a character called Nightmare.
Nightmare is
Just
around
somebody that
all
comes
the
to you
time now.
But I think that was kind of who this character was.
No, he's otherworldly.
It felt more... Well, this felt more Nightmare to me because he would attack you in your dreams and things like that. And I don't know, it just felt more of that than Dormammu.
Let's finish the plot real quick. Doctor Strange, it being the 70s, fixes Clea and he wants to date her in a nice way. She's fixed. They're going to go on a date. Morgan comes back. She gets all confused again. She tells Strange that if you want her to be fine, you're going to come with me. He comes with her to whatever dark dimension where she wants to bang. And Morgan's like, live with me forever and we can bang and it'll be great. And he's like, no.
And she gives him the outfit.
Yeah, he gets the outfit. Yeah. And he's like, no, I don't want to bang. You're not nice.
She gives him the outfit that's what we know basically of him now. And then at the very end, he gets the outfit changed to what it was originally from the Steve Ditko, Stan Lee era when they were writing and drawing.
I'm not as familiar with Doctor Strange back in the day, yeah.
I'm just telling you, that's what it was. I've always wanted to like Doctor Strange more than I have.
Yeah.
I've tried. I've saved a lot of his series and I've tried to read them. I just have never lasted too long.
It's real.
Same with Iron Man. I've always tried to just read Iron Man and it's hard.
See, I vibe more there. Like, I've read a lot of Iron Man. A character that I really want to love and I have a hard time is Silver Surfer.
Same thing, yeah. I try with him as well.
I know that his original work is like a masterpiece of weirdness.
It's good. The cartoon they made in the 90s is really good. They only made one season.
I forgot really about that. Oh my god.
Yeah, you should check it out. And I think Stan had a lot of input in that as well because I think Silver Surfer was really his favorite character.
Like, it's so deep. It's so deep that it's almost hard to even, yeah. All right, so Strange is like, no, and he defeats her, and they go back to Earth, and Wong is fine. Wong is fine. He gets his ass kicked by Morgan, but he's not dead. And then Steven has to make the conscious decision to become Sorcerer Supreme, and he does. And now we're ready for a whole new TV show that's going to be a huge success, and we'll see what happens.
Let me continue my notes here.
Yeah.
The rest of my notes, all right? When he decides not to join Morgan, right? In that astral plane, they start shooting lightning bolts at each other. The hand bolts, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no one taught him how to do anything. There was never a training sequence. It's very anticlimactic. And then if Morgan hadn't come to him, he wouldn't be the sorcerer at all, right? And this is kind of what the old man seemed to plan all along. It was very convenient. And then my last one is Wong's probably jealous because it seems like he would have been the obvious successor, right? Like, what the fuck is this guy? Because the old man even says, "You're not my servant, Wong." He even said, and so I was like, he's not a servant. Of course he's a servant. Isn't that what he is? But he says he's not he's told him he wasn't your servant.
At the same time that he says he's not his servant, He says, I hope your cooking has improved. So the man has
Okay.
cooked for him
Yeah.
at least twice
Yeah,
now.
he's a servant. He's a servant. And then the last thing is that I don't get the LaFay method, which was a tacked on ending.
Okay.
Where he's now the Sorceress Supreme and she's still around.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's just they didn't want to lose her from the show, I think.
It's almost like they reset and they went backwards in time and we didn't know what was happening because they re-showed them going on the date. It's like they redid stuff, but then they introduced Morgan again.
I don't think they knew they had any idea why this made sense. They were just like, well, we don't want to lose Morgan from the show, so she's still around. We'll explain later why she's still around.
Right. I think we
all.
have a lot of we'll explain this in the TV show elements to this
Exactly.
movie. And so, yeah, there's a weird Morgan Le Fay as a TV self-help guru because the Dormammu demon or whatever he was took away her youth. She's 500 years old. Fun fact, that was still her. That wasn't a different woman. That was still Jessica
Oh, I know. I
Walter.
thought it was pretty good makeup. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it worked pretty well for the 70s. All for nothing. Well, she got paid, I guess. Scale, probably.
The person that did the score on this, I think it was Score, worked on the modern Doctor Strange movie.
Weird. Why? Why bother?
Yeah, random thing.
So, another failure
Yeah.
on Marvel's part. But they're trying.
Yeah.
This is all Stan did in the 70s. He moved out to LA. He took Marvel with him in like a ambassador capacity and was just trying to get them into mixed media. Newspapers, radio, TV, movies. The movies just couldn't handle the stories that he was making, you know? Like, how do you translate Marvel comics into movies? It's very difficult. So I think TV was the obvious place to do it, but they just had such low budgets, you know? The Hulk, because all you needed was a big dude, and they got that in Ferrigno. But Spider-Man swinging around the city, how's that going to work?
Yeah, okay. I've still never seen an episode of Spider-Man to know how they made that work.
They used that one shot we saw in the
Over and
TV
over and
movie. They were
over.
just over and over and over.
Same here, though. Like, what would this show have been? Jessica Walter just being like, I want to bang you each episode? While Clea's like, no, we're married now. We have kids, Morgan. Calm down.
It would have been people getting possessed and Doctor Strange coming to help them, and then there'd be an astroplane aspect
Yep,
to
you
it. He'd
nailed it.
fight. He'd do his hand bolts, which I hate. And then that would it. Yeah, that'd be it. That'd be another episode.
Well, that was Doctor Strange. In our rankings, it's clearly, for me anyway, Incredible Hulk, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man.
Yeah, I don't know when we're gonna find something that is less than Spider-Man, but we'll keep watching.
Well, next episode we have the Captain America that I ordered on DVD for $4.42. It came with Captain America 2, Death Too Soon. How are there two TV movies? I don't know the 1990 Captain America.
Yeah, they redid it again. I think the ones you bought, does he have the rubber mask or does he have the motorcycle helmet?
Motorcycle helmet. It's the...
Then the one in the 90s is the rubber mask version.
Oh, see, I'm very excited for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, until then, this has been Justin.
Oh, and Aaron, yes. Always here.
And thank you for listening to us talk about Marvel, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Follow us on YouTube's or wherever we are currently, and say hi to your grandma for me.